My dear soul, my blessed soul, welcome. I am here once again connecting with your energy, feeling what is moving around you, observing what is forming, even before it becomes visible. And what I see for you, Leo, is not light at first glance, but it is powerful. And more than that, it is transformative. When I direct my attention to your energy, I immediately feel something very strong connected to concern for someone else. It's not just a thought. It's not something superficial. It's something that has been taking space inside you. There is a person, someone close. For many of you, someone from your family. And you keep thinking about this person. You observe them. You analyze their actions. You worry about their future. And not because you are controlling, but because you truly want this person to succeed. You want them to grow. You want them to build something solid in life. And this reveals something very important about you. You are generous. You are someone who lifts others. You are someone who wants to see people rising. But at the same time, I need to tell you something very clearly. You are giving too much of your energy to this. Because when I look deeper, I see exhaustion, mental exhaustion, emotional exhaustion. Not because your intentions are wrong, but because your energy is being consumed. And here is the turning point. Caring is beautiful. But losing yourself in someone else's process is not balance. You cannot carry someone else's life for them. And this is something April will start showing you, not in a harsh way, but in a way that makes you realize, I need to take care of myself too. Now, there is something else very strong in your energy, something that comes from your past. When I connect deeper, I feel that your body remembers something, your energy remembers something. There is a history here, connected to your health. For some of you, something already happened. For others, it may still be affecting you in subtle ways. But what matters is not just what happened, it's how deeply it impacted you. Because this didn't just affect your body, it affected your mind, your emotions, your perception of life. There is a moment in your past where you questioned everything, your path, your purpose, even your strength. And even if today you look fine on the outside, inside, that experience left a mark. But listen to me carefully now, because this is important. That chapter does not define your future. You are not in that moment anymore. Your energy now is asking for something different. It is asking for peace. It is asking for healing. It is asking for calm. And this is where your transformation begins, because when I observe your energy now, I don't see someone broken. I see someone who is rebuilding. But rebuilding requires something very specific. You need to believe again, not blindly, not naively, but deeply. You need to believe that your life can feel good again, that your body can feel stronger again, that your mind can feel lighter again. And yes, this is possible, but it starts inside you. Now, there is another layer I need to show you. Your connection with spirituality is changing. You are no longer the same person when it comes to belief. At some point in your life, you trusted something, a system, a belief, a person, and something happened. Disappointment, confusion, a realization. And now you don't see things the same way anymore. You question more. You observe more. You don't accept everything blindly. And this is not a bad thing. This is maturity. You are learning to find answers, not only outside, but within yourself. And this changes everything because your spiritual path is becoming more personal, more authentic, more aligned with who you really are. You are no longer following, you are discovering. And yes, this may create distance from people, from environments, from old beliefs, but this distance is necessary because you are aligning with yourself. And when you align with yourself, your energy becomes stronger, clearer, more protected. Now let me show you something that brings relief. Because even with all this intensity, there is a shift coming. Something will happen that will ease your heart. That person you have been worrying about, their situation begins to move. And when it moves, you feel relief, not because everything is perfect, but because you start seeing progress. And this changes your emotional state. You breathe differently. You feel lighter. But even with this relief, the message remains the same. Do not forget yourself, because your life also needs your attention. And April is exactly about that, balancing your energy, caring without losing yourself, feeling without drowning in it, thinking without exhausting your mind. This is your lesson. This is your adjustment. This is your realignment. And this is only the beginning, because there is much more unfolding for you in this month, and I will show you everything. Now, my dear soul, as I continue observing your energy, I begin to see something shifting inside you. Not outside first, inside. There is a moment in April where you start slowing down, not because you are weak, but because you understand something important. Not everything needs to be rushed. You begin to realize that your timing is not the same as everyone else's. And this connects deeply with your spiritual path, because I see clearly that you are stepping back a little, not abandoning your beliefs, but questioning them, re-evaluating, observing. You are no longer following things automatically. You are choosing what resonates. And this may come from something you experienced before, a disappointment, a realization, a moment where you felt that something didn't align anymore. And instead of forcing yourself to continue, you paused. And this pause is powerful because it is giving you space to reconnect with your own truth. Now let me show you something very specific. There is something you used to desire strongly, something you once asked for, something you believed was right for you. And now you look at it differently and you think, that's not what I want anymore. And this is not confusion. This is growth. Because you are no longer chasing things out of impulse. You are choosing things based on alignment. And this changes your entire path. Now, there is something else that continues to appear strongly. Again, I see you thinking about someone. This energy repeats. And when something repeats, it means it matters. There is someone in your life whose situation affects you deeply. For many of you, this is connected to finances. You think about whether this person will be able to stabilize, whether they will succeed, whether they will find their way, and this creates a constant loop in your mind. But here is what I need to show you. Something shifts. There is a moment where things begin to improve, not instantly, not magically, but enough to give you relief. And when this relief comes, your energy softens. You stop carrying that tension all the time, and this allows you to finally redirect your focus back to yourself. Now let's go deeper, because April also brings something very important regarding your inner strength. There is a part of you that has been neglected, your own energy, your own spiritual field, your own protection. You are someone sensitive, even if you don't always show it. And because of that, you absorb more than you realize. Environments, people, situations, and sometimes you feel something that you cannot explain. A heaviness, a strange sensation, a presence. For most people, this will be subtle, but for some of you, this is very real. And this is where your awareness needs to increase, because not everything you feel belongs to you. And this is why your energy needs strengthening. You need to reconnect with your spiritual protection, your prayers, your connection with something higher, not out of fear, but out of alignment. Because when your energy is aligned, everything that doesn't belong to you naturally moves away. And I need to be clear here. You are not unprotected, but you need to be more present with your own energy. Now let me guide you into something very practical, because this will define part of your month. There are specific moments in April where your attention will be directed toward others again, especially someone who may be dealing with a fragile situation. For some, this is health-related, for others, emotional. And you will feel the urge to be present, to help, to support. And yes, your presence makes a difference. Your energy carries care. Your presence carries strength. But once again, balance, because helping should not drain you. Now, I also see something opening in your professional energy. There is a movement towards alignment. You begin to understand what truly fits you. Not just what works, not just what pays, but what resonates. And this is where opportunities begin to shift. For some of you, this is about career. For others, it's about discovering new abilities, new interests, new talents, things that you feel drawn to. And this is important. These impulses are not random. They are signals guiding you towards something that aligns with your essence. And when you follow this, your energy expands. You feel more alive, more connected, more motivated. Now, there is something I need to prepare you for. There will be a phase where things feel delayed, where opportunities don't come as fast as you expect. And this may frustrate you, but understand this. Delay is not denial. Things are moving, even if you don't see it yet. There is a transition happening, a shift, a redirection, and this redirection, yes, will take you somewhere better, but it requires patience. Now, before we move forward, I want to leave you with something simple, but powerful. You don't need to control everything. You don't need to fix everything. You don't need to carry everything. You just need to stay aligned. Because when you are aligned, life starts organizing itself. And April is exactly about this organization. Internal first, external after. And this is only the middle of what is unfolding for you, because what comes next will go even deeper. This is where things begin to take shape in a more visible way. Because until now, everything I showed you was happening inside you. But now, this energy begins to reflect in your reality. And the first thing I need to tell you is this. There will be moments in April where you feel pulled in different directions, almost like life is asking you, where do you want to place your energy? And this is not a small question, because your answer defines your path. Now let me show you something very clear. At the beginning of this cycle, there is a strong return of responsibility. Again, you find yourself thinking about someone, but this time it feels closer, more present, more real. There is a situation involving someone that may require your presence, your support, your attention. For some, this connects to someone dealing with a fragile moment, and your heart naturally moves toward helping, because this is who you are. You don't turn your back, you don't ignore. But here is the difference now. You are more aware. You begin to notice when you are giving too much, when you are crossing your own limits. And this awareness changes how you act. You still help, but differently, with more balance, with more control. Now let's move forward, because something else opens here. There is a shift in your professional and personal direction. You start feeling a desire to move towards something that actually fulfills you, not just something that keeps you busy, something that gives meaning. And this may come as a thought, an idea, a curiosity, something that makes you stop and think, what if I try this? And this is important. Do not ignore this feeling, because this is your energy guiding you. Now, I also see something very interesting. Some of you may feel a desire to learn something new, not because you have to, but because you want to. And this is different, because when desire comes from within, it brings growth. This could be a skill, a hobby, a study, something that awakens your interest. And when you follow this, your energy becomes lighter. Now let's talk about something that may challenge you. There is a moment where you feel like things are not moving fast enough. You look at opportunities and feel like they are just out of reach. Almost there, but not quite. And this creates a sensation of delay. But I need you to understand this deeply. This is part of your process. Because what is coming requires preparation. And this preparation is happening now, even if you don't see it clearly. Now there is a transition energy here, a movement. Something begins to change direction. And this change will take you somewhere different from what you initially expected, but better aligned. Now I want to bring your attention to something lighter, because not everything here is intense. There is also a moment of relief, a moment where you choose something simple, it's just but meaningful. For some, this is a trip. For others, a small escape, a place, a moment, an experience. And what's interesting is this. At first, you may think about doing something bigger, something farther, something more elaborate, but then you change your mind and you choose something closer, simpler, more accessible. And this turns out to be exactly what you needed, because this moment brings you joy. It reconnects you with something light, something peaceful. And after everything you've been carrying, this matters more than you realize. Now let me show you something deeper again. You are in a phase where your interests are changing. What once excited you may not excite you the same way anymore. And what you didn't notice before now catches your attention. And this is not random. This is transformation. You are evolving. And when you evolve, your preferences change, your desires change, your priorities change. And this is exactly what is happening. Now, before we move forward, I need to say something very important. There is nothing wrong with you. If you feel different, it's because you are changing. If you feel slower, It's because you are becoming more aware. If you feel more selective, it's because you are aligning. And this is power, not weakness. Now feel this clearly. April is not a month of explosion. It is a month of alignment, of adjustment, of internal reorganization. And because of that, what comes after will be stronger, more stable, more aligned with who you truly are. And what comes next goes even deeper into your life, especially in areas that truly define your future. As I go deeper into your energy, there is something that becomes impossible to ignore. You are in a phase where you are no longer reacting the same way. Situations that once triggered you now make you pause. Things that once affected you deeply now make you observe. And this shift may seem small, but it is powerful, because this is the moment where you stop being controlled by what happens and start choosing how you respond. And this is where your strength truly begins to show. Now, I need you to pay attention to this. There is a situation that used to take a lot of your energy. It could be a person, a responsibility, a concern. And before, you were inside it, emotionally involved, mentally consumed. But now, you begin to step back, not abandoning, but observing. And this creates space. Space for clarity, space for understanding, and most importantly, space for you. Because for a long time, you were giving your energy outward. And now, you begin to bring it back. And this changes everything. Now let me show you something that may feel subtle, but will impact you deeply. There is a moment where you start questioning your own limits, not in a negative way, but in a conscious way. You begin to ask yourself, how much of this is really mine to carry? And this question liberates you, because the truth is, you were carrying things that were never yours to begin with. And as you release this weight, you feel lighter. Not because your life becomes perfect, but because your energy becomes yours again. Now there is another shift happening. Your focus begins to turn toward your own life, your goals, your path, your desires, and this is something that hasn't been happening fully. Because your attention was divided between your life and other people's lives. But now you begin to reclaim your direction, and this is where things start to move differently. Now, there is something important regarding your mindset. You are becoming more selective. Not everyone has access to you the same way anymore. Not every situation deserves your energy. Not every conversation deserves your attention. And this may create distance, but this distance is protection, and protection is necessary at this stage. Now let me bring something deeper. There is a moment where you feel a strong internal push, a desire to change something in your life, not small changes, something meaningful, something that aligns more with who you are now. And this desire may feel uncomfortable at first, because change always challenges what is familiar. But at the same time, it excites you, because deep inside, you are ready. Now I also see something very specific. There is a realization that not everything you planned is exactly how things will unfold. And instead of resisting, you begin to accept. And this acceptance opens new paths. Because when you stop forcing one direction, you allow something better to enter. Now there is also a moment of emotional clarity. Something becomes clear to you about a person, about a situation, about yourself. And when this clarity comes, you cannot go back to how things were. Because once you see, you see. And this changes your decisions. Now let me show you something very important about your energy. You are stronger than you think, but not in the way you used to measure strength. Before, strength was pushing, forcing, enduring. Now, strength is understanding, choosing, aligning. And this is a higher level of power. Now, feel this clearly. You are not in the same place you were before. Even if your external life looks similar, inside, you are different. And because you are different, your future will be different. Now, there is one final thing I need to tell you before we move forward. Do not doubt your process, even if it feels slow, even if it feels uncertain, because everything you are experiencing right now has a purpose. You are being prepared to choose differently, prepared to live differently, prepared to become someone more aligned with your truth. And this preparation is already changing your life. And what comes next will reveal even more, especially in areas that touch your stability, your health, and your emotional foundation. This is where everything comes together. Everything I've shown you, every feeling, every shift, every realization, it was leading you here. Because April is not just a month of events, it is a month of internal reconstruction. And when I look at your energy now, I no longer see confusion. I see awareness. I see someone who is beginning to understand what to carry and what to release. And this changes everything. Now, let's talk about something very important. Your energy has been overloaded, mentally, emotionally, even physically. And this is why your body starts to send signals. A constant tiredness, a feeling that rest is not enough, a sense that something needs to change. And this is real, because your body reflects your energy. And when your energy is overwhelmed, your body feels it. Now listen carefully, because this is one of the most important messages of your reading. You will need to make changes, not small adjustments. Clear decisions, cutting what drains you, reducing what exhausts you, creating space for your energy to recover. Because if you continue the same way, you will continue feeling the same way. And this is where your power comes in. You have the strength to change, but this change, it requires action. Now, this doesn't mean something extreme. It can be simple: better rest, better habits, less exposure to what drains you, even emotional boundaries, because not everything deserves your energy. Now let's move to something that brings balance. Your financial energy shows improvement, not through something sudden, but through better choices. There is someone around you who influences how you experience your resources. And this influence brings a different perspective. You begin to see value, not only in saving, but in experiencing, in enjoying something good, a moment, a place, an experience. And this brings satisfaction, because it's not about spending, it's about feeling good with what you choose. Now, there is also something connected to your space, your environment, your home. There is a desire to change something, to improve, to organize, to beautify. And this is important because your external space affects your internal state. And when you create harmony around you, that your energy responds. Now let's talk about your professional life. There is movement, but it is not immediate. There is something forming, there's something aligning, but it requires patience. You may feel like things are taking longer than expected. Processes, responses, opportunities. But I need you to understand this clearly. This delay is part of your alignment, because what is coming is not random. It is connected to your growth, and growth takes time. Now, for those who are already working, there is something important. You are someone who gives a lot: effort, energy, dedication. And because of that, you expect results, faster results, bigger results. But here is the truth. You are building something, and what you are building is not small. It is something strong, something lasting. And just like anything that is meant to last, it takes time to grow. So do not measure your progress only by speed. Measure it by consistency, because you are moving forward. Now let's talk about something very powerful: your emotional life. Because here I see strength. Even after everything you've been through, you remain standing. You didn't collapse. You didn't lose yourself. You adapted. And this gives you a presence that others feel. People see you as someone strong, attractive, impressive, even when you don't feel it fully inside. You project it, and this creates admiration. Now, in love, this becomes very interesting, because there is attraction, there is chemistry, there is connection, but at the same time, there is distance. Not physical distance necessarily, but emotional pacing. You don't give everything immediately. You observe, you measure, you decide, and this creates a dynamic. For those in relationships, the other person admires you, but may feel you are not always fully present, that you give, but not completely. And this requires balance, because connection grows with presence. Now, for those who are single, this is even more clear. You attract, but at the same time, you hold back. And because of that, people may feel that you are not fully available. And this is not wrong. It is your phase, a phase of self-focus, self-value, self-priority. But if you choose to open, there is potential, strong potential, because your energy is magnetic right now. Now, there is something specific. Someone from the past still carries feelings, but this person does not express easily. They feel, but they hold back. And in some way, they wait. Not necessarily for you to return, but for a sign. And this situation moves slowly, but it moves. Now, I want to bring you the final message. When I look at your energy as a whole, I see someone who is rising, not loudly, not suddenly, but consciously. You are rebuilding yourself from the inside, and this is the strongest kind of transformation, because when you change inside, your entire life changes. Now remember this, you are not behind, you are not lost, you are aligning, and alignment always comes before expansion. So trust your process, take care of your energy, respect your timing, because everything that is meant for you is already moving in your direction. Blessings, my dear soul. Stay strong, stay aware, stay aligned, and I will see you in the next reading.